welcome back to Fluttering Butterflies. My name is Michelle and we're here today with Eve Ainsworth, the author of 7 Days.
Hello!
Do you want to just talk a little bit about 7 Days?
Yeah, can do. 7 Days is a teen book which is based around bullying. It's a dual narrative novel which I hope will give you both sides of the story when it comes to bullying. So it's a story about Jess and Kez, sorry, my boys. And Jess is a victim of bullying, but you also see Kez's perspective as well, who's the bully. And I hope it gives you reasons why Kez has chosen to bully Jess. It's set over 7 days, very fast pace, quite gritty in places, but quite an important book for me to have written. I'm quite passionate about it.
Good. Now you mentioned there Jess and Kez's perspectives are both there. Did you find one easier to write over the other, or did they both sort of come naturally to you?
They both kind of came naturally. Initially, Jess, I guess I was kind of finding quite easy because I was quite sympathetic towards her. But as I started to write Kez and really get behind her motivations, I really started to care about her, and she became easier and easier to write. And I became quite passionate about wanting to get her point of view across. So initially Jess was easier to write, but then they both became sort of equal in power, really.
And like you said, it is quite a slim book. It only covers 1 week, but what I thought was really great about it is that there are other secondary characters which are really cool as well. I think Philip was my favourite.
Oh, I love Philip.
Did you have a favourite character other than Jess and Kez to write about? Or?
Yeah, I mean there's quite a few key ones really. I mean I like Lynn, I love Lynn. Because I think that he's obviously the boyfriend of Kez, but he's an old friend of Jess's, and they start to get to know again. And I like him because he's got a lot of integrity. He's from the estate. He's got quite a lot of kudos, but there's a lot of integrity in Lynn, and in my mind, he's a really good, solid guy to know, and I love him to bits.
Yeah, I quite like Lynn as well. He does kind of stand up and say, you know, Jess is all right, leave her alone at times, and that can be difficult to do in that situation. So I'm glad to see that there was some of that amongst the friends and everything. But like you said, there are some really difficult situations and everything. Was there a particular scene that you found difficult to tackle, or that you came back to writing?
I think the initial scene of bullying was quite difficult, where you see Jess first entering the school and the girls are tackling her and getting her to go down on her knees, because you know it's quite a distressing image to think of a girl on her knees and be made to be put in that position, and I wanted that to come across quite honest and sincere, but again, because that's quite a nasty thing for girls to do, to put somebody in a position of power almost, you know, that they're looking down on her. I had to rewrite it several times to make sure that it had the right message across. And it left me feeling quite sad and, you know, really feeling sorry for Jess. So that was quite a difficult one. I felt quite emotional writing that particular scene.
But I think it sets up the novel really well as well, the situation that it's in. In the book, without spoiling it at all, there is like a really memorable place that Kez visits, and I was wondering, is there a place like that for you that you'd go to for comfort?
Yeah, there kind of is actually. I've had several throughout my sort of life, but I do we've got some woods near where I live, and people that know Crawley will know it well. There's a big lake and lots of woods, and you know it's a really lovely place to go when you need to sort of chill out and just go for a walk and you know just have some quiet time. And that's probably my place that I would go if I needed solace or needed to think about things. Definitely.
Now the book is about bullying, and you have had sort of experience in dealing with bullying in schools, I believe. But where do you think that things can go from here? I mean, I felt like the end of 7 Days felt very hopeful, but do you have any thoughts about?
I wanted to leave a hopeful message, because I didn't want it to be, because it's quite a gritty book, but I didn't want it to be a book that was really overly sad and leaving readers to think, oh, you know, that's it, I wanted it to be hopeful. My feeling as an author is that they're not going to be best friends. That doesn't happen in life. You're going to get girls that clash and they're different and they're not going to be good friends, but what I'd hope is that they'd have mutual respect for each other and that they'd give themselves that space to just leave each other alone. I think Kez grows and you see the growth, and she starts to realise that she doesn't want to be that type of person, and she doesn't need to be that type of person in order to be who she needs to be. And Jess grows as well. She realises that she doesn't need to be any type of victim. She can speak up for herself, and she can be who she wants to be as well. She doesn't have to conform to what other people think is normal, if you like.
Yeah. Well, good. Moving on to some happier topics. This is your debut YA book, isn't it?
It is.
And how are you reacting to readers like me who have read it and loved it? And any sort of feedback that you've gotten so far?
Oh, it's really exciting. It's lovely to have people behind the book and giving you lots of positive praise. And I think that the really lovely thing is having younger readers as well. We've had a few reviews off the Love Reading site, and having younger readers say that the book really, you know, had a place in their heart and reflected on what they were experiencing. That's really what I wanted to do, and that's been really lovely. It's just amazing, you know, something you've written, your baby is out there and people are, you know, responding to it and giving you feedback, and it's just like a dream come true, really. I know it's a bit enough to say that, but it really is like a dream come true. It's lovely.
Yes. And 7 Days was one of my anticipated reads of 2015. What would be on your list?
Of 2015? Yeah. Are we counting debuts or all books? All books. I am looking forward to Emma Horton's new book, which is Best Left Buried. I think she's a fantastic thriller writer, and her books, you know, her last book was fantastic, so I can't wait to read this one. I'm looking forward to Karen David's new book. This Is Not a Love Story. I think that's going to be an amazing read. Can't wait for that one. Who else am I looking forward to? Liz Kessler's got her new YA book coming out, Read Me Like a Book, which is going to be, I think that's going to be a fantastic book as well. She's spent a long time writing this one, so I think it's going to be a really, really great read. There are so many good books this year. There really are. You know, it's going to be a bumpy year for YA, I think, and middle grade as well, actually. It's such a bumpy year. I'm just trying to think of some other books that are coming out that I want to read. I know that The Art of Being Normal has obviously just come out, and I'm about to read that one, and it's already receiving really good feedback. So that's another really good one. And Mel's, obviously, you know, Sunita's Daughter. It's a fantastic read, and that's going to be sensational.
It is, yes. I love it as well. Right, thank you very much for being here. It was lovely having you, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.